In the early hours of January 24th, 1961, the people of Faro, North Carolina slept under a winter sky that revealed little of the nation's nuclear anxieties. The Cold War was at its apex. School children practiced duck and cover drills with conditioned obedience, and the Strategic Air Command maintained a ceaseless rhythm of airborne readiness. But nothing in the nation's elaborate choreography of deterrence anticipated that one of its most alarming near-catastrophes would unfold, not in a missile silo, nor in a foreign theater, but over the quiet farmland of Wayne County. At 12:30 a.m., a B-52G Stratofortress lifted off from Seymour Johnson Air Force Base as a part of a routine Chrome Dome mission, the Strategic Air Command's continuous airborne alert program that kept nuclear-armed bombers in the sky day and night. This particular aircraft carried two Mark 39 Mod 2 thermonuclear bombs, each with a yield estimated at 3 to 4 megatons, or roughly 200 times the explosive power of the device dropped on Hiroshima. Their presence aboard the bombers was not exceptional for the era, but their accidental descent minutes later was unprecedented. Shortly after takeoff, the B-52 encountered a fuel leak, first minor, but then turning catastrophic. By 2 a.m., as the plane attempted to return to base, it lost over 37,000 pounds of fuel in minutes. At 9,000 feet, the bomber began to break apart. The crews bailed out as the aircraft disintegrated over the fields and tobacco farms below. 6 men survived, but 2 did not. As the fuselage tore open, the 2 Mark 39 bombs were violently ejected. What followed is among the most sobering sequences in Cold War history. The first bomb behaved almost exactly as it was intended to behave in wartime. Its parachute deployed, and with it, its arming mechanisms initiated in the precise order engineers had intended. First, the safing pins were pulled during separation. Then the barometric switch was activated as it fell through altitude thresholds. And then the high-voltage battery charged, attempting to deliver the current to the firing circuitry. Only a single low-voltage switch, a final, fragile barrier, prevented full detonation. The second bomb was less intact. Its parachute failed. It plummeted nose first into a muddy field near Faro at nearly 700 miles per hour, drilling itself deep into the earth. The tail section and arming devices were recovered almost immediately, but the uranium secondary, essential material from the bomb's thermonuclear stage, remains unrecovered to this day, buried beneath layers of groundwater-saturated sediment. The Air Force eventually purchased a 400-foot radius of land around the site to ensure no one would inadvertently excavate the remains. For decades, the federal government maintained that the weapons never posed a genuine risk of detonation, but archival studies, Freedom of Information Act releases, and the 2013 declassification of Parker F. Jones' now canonical report, Goldsboro Revisited, tell a far more unsettling story. The United States came perilously close to an accidental nuclear explosion on its own soil. The blast radius would have incinerated Goldsboro, destroyed Seymour Johnson Air Force Base, and spread lethal fallout as far north as Washington, D.C., depending on weather patterns. North Carolina's farmers found themselves unwitting participants in a drama usually reserved for superpower summits and underground test ranges. State officials were notified, though many residents were not. Some locals recall searchlights sweeping across fields, the sudden influx of military personnel, and the eerie quiet that accompanies a crisis managed behind closed doors. Even as recovery teams excavated the bomb's components for days, then weeks, the full magnitude of the danger, the almost detonation, the unrecovered fissile core, remained a closely guarded federal secret. The Goldsboro incident did not halt the airborne alert program, but it accelerated internal debates over its risks. It underscored the fallibility of complex weapons systems and the precariousness of Cold War brinkmanship. More importantly, it stands today not as folklore or conjecture or hypothetical doom, but as a documented moment when a multi-megaton thermonuclear weapon came within a hair's breadth of exploding in rural America.